Hello, this is lesson 2.8a, Undoing Operations. Our essential question for today: how do you solve multi-step single variable algebra problems by undoing? So how to solve equations? We use these steps right here. The first is we simplify if possible by distributing. Then 2, we combine like terms. And 3, we read in order what is happening to x. The last thing you say is the first thing that you undo. To undo, we use the inverse operations. The opposites are adding and subtracting our opposites, multiplying and dividing, squaring and square root. Alright, make a T-chart. Remember to undo backwards, the order of operations backwards. So to do a T-chart, I'm going to draw my line down the equal sign. And 4x minus 5 is the last thing that I said, so it's the first thing I get rid of. To get rid of subtracting 5, I have to add 5, and I need to do so on both sides. So then negative 5 plus 5 is 0. I'm left with 4x plus 0, or just 4x equals 7 plus 5 is 12. 4x is really 4 times x, so to undo multiplication, I divide by 4 on both sides. And then 4 divided by 4 is 1, so I'm left with 1x, or just x. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Then we need to check our answer. So we plug it into our original equation. 4x minus 5 equals 7. But instead of x, we're going to plug in what we know x is. So 4, use parentheses when you substitute in. So 4 times 3 is what we got, minus 5 equals 7. So we're trying to see if we get a true statement. We are doing the order of operations because we just need to simplify. So 4 times 3 is 12, minus 5 equals 7. 12 minus 5 is 7, so we got 7 equals 7. That is a true statement. So it means what we got for our answer is correct. Alright, our next example, x divided by 3 plus 2 equals 8. And when I say x divided by 3 plus 2 is the last thing I said, so it's the first thing that I get rid of. So to get rid of a plus 2, I subtract 2 on both sides. So then I'm left with x divided by 3 equals 8 minus 2 is 6. To get rid of dividing by 3, I have to multiply by 3 on both sides. So then 3 divided by 3 is what I'm left with over here. 3x divided by 3 is just x, equals 6 times 3 is 18. We need to check our answer. X divided by 3 plus 2 equals 8, and we're going to substitute where our x is with what we got, which we got 18. So 18 divided by 3 plus 2 equals 8. Order of operations, so we simplify. 18 divided by 3 is 6, plus 2 equals 8. 8 equals 8, so we know our answer is correct. X equals 18. Let's say that instead you got a statement that was not true, like 6 equals 8. That would mean you just need to go back and try it again and see if you get a different answer and then check that one. So you should be getting true statements here. Alright, x plus 4 divided by 2 equals negative 7. This whole part right here is being divided by 2, so I'm going to put it in parentheses. And again, x plus 4 divided by 2. Divided by 2 is the last thing I said. It's the first thing I get rid of. So I'm going to multiply by 2 on both sides. 2 over 2, that just turns into 1. You might have seen before when teachers cross stuff out, that's just because it turned into 1, so that's fine. So then I'm left with x plus 4 equals negative 14, because when we multiply negative 7 times 2. Now I need to subtract 4 from both sides. So then x equals negative 14 minus 4 more is negative 18, but we need to check our answer. So we need to write it out. X plus 4 divided by 2 equals negative 7. And we are going to substitute in what we got for x right there. So we'll have negative 18 plus 4 equals, divided by 2 equals negative 7. Negative 18 plus 4 is negative 14. Divided by 2 is negative 7. And negative 14 divided by 2 is negative 7. So negative 7 equals negative 7. So our answer of x equals negative 18 is correct. Make a t-chart. Remember to undo backwards the order of operations. So for example D, we have negative 1 times x plus 5 equals 3. So I'm going to pause on this one, and I would like for you to give it a try by yourself and then check and see how I did it. Alright, so you should have subtracted 5 from both sides to start. And then negative 1 times x equals negative 2. So then to undo a multiplying by negative 1, we should divide by negative 1. And negative 2 divided by negative 1 is positive 2. So x equals 2. We go ahead and check our answer. So negative 1x plus 5 equals 3. Negative 1 times x, which we got, is 2. Plus 5 equals 3. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. Plus 5, does it equal 3? Negative 2 plus 5 does equal 3. 3 equals 3, so we did it correct. X equals 2. Alright, next one here. 9x minus 7 equals negative 7, so we have to get rid of that minus 7 first. To do that, I'm going to add 7 on both sides. So then I get 9x equals negative 7 plus 7 is 0. And then 9x is multiplying, so to undo multiplying by 9, I divide by 9 on both sides. If you're unsure, you can always type something in the calculator. It's okay to have the 0 on the top. 0 divided by 9 is just 0. So we are left with x equals 0. And we can go ahead and check our answer. 9x minus 7 equals negative 7. We plug in 0, substitute it in for x. Minus 7 equals negative 7. Alright, 9 times 0 is 0. Minus 7 equals negative 7. 0 minus 7 is just negative 7. So negative 7 equals negative 7. So we are correct. X equals 0. Alright, so for this one we actually have to simplify first by distributing. So this 2 needs to be multiplied by everything in the group. So 2 times x is 2x. And then 2 times positive 5 is positive 10, so 2x plus 10 equals negative 2. And now we can undo. I said plus 10 last, so we subtract 10 on both sides. 2x equals negative 12. Divide by 2. X equals negative 6. We go ahead and check our answer. So 2 times x plus 5 equals negative 2. We plug in by substitution what we got for x, which was negative 6, plus 5 equals negative 2. Simplifying, so do what's inside the parentheses first. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. So 2 times negative 1 equals negative 2. And 2 times negative 1 is a negative 2. So negative 2 equals negative 2. We are correct. x equals negative 6. Alright, for this next one, negative 1 equals 5 plus x divided by 6. I put that whole thing in parentheses because that whole part is being divided by 6. And I'm actually going to go ahead and pause on this one, and I want you to go ahead and give it a try, and then we'll move on. A little bit of a hint here, it is dividing by 6. That's the first thing you're going to undo. So go ahead and give that one a try. I'm going to draw the line down the equals sign, and on this one we have the x on the right side. That's okay, doesn't change what we do, same steps. I'm dividing by 6, so I'm going to multiply by 6 on both sides. So 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. And here we're left with 5 plus x, which is the same thing as x plus 5. I have this positive 5, so I need to subtract 5 on both sides. So negative 11 equals x, which if you prefer, you can write that as x equals negative 11. We need to check our answer. So we have negative 1 equals 5 plus x divided by 6, but instead of x, we are going to substitute what we got in for x, which was negative 11. So negative 1 equals 5 plus negative 11 divided by 6. We're going to simplify inside the parentheses first. 5 plus negative 11 is negative 6. And negative 6 divided by 6 is negative 1. So negative 1 equals negative 1. We are correct, so x equals negative 11. And this concludes lesson 2.8a.